Pamela. I'm here to share my story and my journey. I found out I was pregnant in November of 2023. At the time, my life was not really I was just not in a place where I could have a baby for so many reasons. As an immigrant living here in Birmingham, United Kingdom, I did not have a stable job. I was working a contract job at the time, and I needed a job, a permanent role that would sponsor my visa to switch to a work visa. I was basically still on a student visa at the time, and that was very, very temporary and unpredictable, really. My boyfriend at the time was also in a similar situation, and both of us living in shared houses and just financially not just being in the place where we could take care of another person. So when I found out I was pregnant, I was quite shocked. He was not excited, just for so many reasons. That I told my partner at the time that abortion is not an option for me. I cannot justify it to myself. I can barely justify it to myself, or much less to my family, and I could definitely not justify it to God. I just did not want to go down that path, but I also did not want to make my partner feel forced into a path that he wasn't ready for. I also did not want to be a single mom. So those are a lot of different things that were running through my mind. It really sent me into I'd say a dark place. I also did not want, because at 29, I wanted to settle down. I wanted marriage. I wanted a husband and everything. So I don't want any situation where it could even be imagined that I used the baby to trap this man into marrying me or something like that. So that's another thing that I knew, that once anyone hears that, that's the first thing that they would think is that I planned this whole thing. I orchestrated it to trap this man to marry me. And that's couldn't be further from the truth. He thought it would be best to register with NHS, and then also register with an abortion clinic. Just, keep both options on the table. And in that spirit, I compromised. I said, okay, we'll keep it open. I registered with the NHS. The NHS referred me to the clinic. So the first thing they did was schedule me for an ultrasound. I did the scan, and they found out I was 6 weeks pregnant at the time. And I remember asking, is there a heartbeat? And the lady said, yes, do you want to hear it? I said, no, I don't want to hear it, because I don't want to get attached, because I don't know what I'm doing yet. And I cried the whole ride home. When I got home, they told me, I'm going to get a call from a counselor who would be able to advise me on my options and everything. What else? What will happen next? So I was a little bit excited to talk to a counselor, because I thought, that's great. I need to talk to someone, because I have all these thoughts running through my head, and I don't even know what my options are right now. So the lady rang me up, and she had the calmest voice, sweet. She was so kind, and just sounded so loving on the phone. Like, hello Pamela, how can I help? What's going on? Tell me. you can talk to me. And like, I thought, oh wow, she's so nice. So I told her, like, I opened up about everything, and I thought, great, this is my opportunity to actually get some help, because I do need some help right now. I don't know what to do. And to my greatest surprise, like, all she did was try to justify to me, like, even make me see more reason with not keeping the baby. I was looking to hear some, to get some advice or helplines, or you call this, if you decide to keep it, this is what you can do. Call this number, anything at all would have really been helpful. But all she said, she kept saying, oh, you have to forgive yourself. Just have to try not to be too harsh on yourself. You're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing for the fetus as well, because you're not ready to be the mother that child deserves, and that is actually a mercy. You're being kind to the child by not bringing them into this situation that is not conducive for them. And just be kind to yourself. It's not really a baby anyway, so I was just looking at the phone like, is she serious? Not once did she say, but if you do decide to keep it, here's what you can do. It wasn't even on her radar at all. So yeah, before the trip, the other abortionist, I don't know what they're called, abortionist lady called me, and she said to me, she told me the whole process. At that time I was about 7 weeks, and I explained to her that I only would go through with this if it's the pill. I would only even consider it because it's the pill. If it becomes a surgical procedure, I'm out 100%. I couldn't do that. And she said, okay, that's fine, then I need to do it as soon as possible, because the more time goes, the risk that the pill won't work, and I stand the risk that the pill might not work, and that it will have to be a surgical situation. And then she took my address. The pill arrived a couple of days later to my mailbox, and I picked it up, but I knew I wasn't taking it on my trip anyway. I thought I was going to come back and take it. So I left it at home. We kept praying about it, we kept talking about it, and the more we talked about it, the more I was starting to open up to the idea of terminating it, because it just made more sense logically. So at the point I got, the weight of everything, and also carrying the weight of significantly changing someone else's life. I left all the decisions up to my partner, and I told him, the ball is in your court. If you decide to keep it, we'll keep it. If you don't want it, then we'll go from there. Whatever you decide, that's what we'll do. And he said, fine. And that's when he really started to pray. He really started to pray about it. And he's a Christian. He's an amazing man. It was just a difficult time for all of us. So we went to London for Christmas with his family. Christmas was amazing, was fun, but we just both had these little secrets that we were keeping from everyone else. So it was a strange time, to be honest. Pretending like nothing's going on and having Christmas like usual, but we were sitting on this heavy thing. It was like a big cloud over us, like a huge elephant in the room the whole time. Anyway, so after Christmas, we started coming back to Birmingham. And we got home, and I kept asking him, so what are we doing? What are we doing? He said, well, we're still praying, we're still praying, we're still praying. And that night, on the phone, we didn't live together at the time, so he went home, I went home, and we're talking on the phone at night. Then he told me that every time he thought about it and prayed about it, that he would hear a voice say to him, do you trust me? And that he believed that God is asking him to trust him. And like in 5 seconds, he literally turned my whole world again upside down, because I was already starting to try to make sense of this path. And then like, okay, in 5 seconds, we're complete shift. Like, we're keeping it, we're trusting God. And that was it. I almost started to feel like I don't know how, it was a mixed feeling at that moment, because then I'm like, okay, so I guess I'm not going back on my grind. Like I started to cancel all the plans I'm already making in my head and like accepting this again. Okay, so these are like I'm a planner. Like, I'm someone that I have to plan my moves all the time. Like I need to know what I'm doing next and next and next. So like the pregnancy made it very hard to see what's next. That's the honest truth. But before I knew it, he had spoken to his family. My father, my partner's dad, is a knight in the Catholic Church. He was absolutely against going down the abortion path, and he had helped so many people that have found themselves in similar situations. So he was not about to let his own child go down that path. So I basically got a text from him. I did not even know that my boyfriend had told his dad about it. And next thing I got a text from his dad, and he told me that that he had heard what happened and that he would like to meet my dad. Anyway, to cut long story short, we got married 4 months later. A white wedding was about 2 months after that, and the baby came the next month, and she has been the absolute light of my life. She has brought us so much joy. I cannot imagine my life without my daughter. She's gorgeous. She's so beautiful. I know every mom says their daughter is beautiful, but my daughter is really, really beautiful. She makes me so happy. I know, like, it's still motherhood comes with a lot of challenges. It's not the easiest thing, but no matter how tired I am or how exhausted I am, like when I see her, like I just get strength from, I don't know, there's this magical supply of strength that just comes over me. And I'm like, I've not sat down all day, but I can go another whole day not sitting down if it makes my daughter happy. Everything that I was so scared of, all those things that were like huge mountains and like huge walls that I was thinking, how would I ever get over this wall? The visa, the jobs, like it all fell into place like magically. It was as if this girl brought everything that I needed into my life. She completed my life, and it's like till this day I don't understand it. It's amazing. It's only God. And not too long ago, my husband told me something like, sometimes the time he just gets a revelation. I don't know, like he gets this, God speaks to him in the most mysterious ways. And he just said to me that the fear of God is really the beginning of wisdom.